What up, everybody? Happy Wednesday, hump day.
What's good?
Welcome to the stream of dreams. So I got Zod Ryder and ACS in the house today. Some other people may join. If they don't, that's all cool. But we shall see. I know I'm probably the last stream to cover this stuff, but whatever. I don't care. I'm going to cover it anyway. So want to jump in the chat real quick and see who all is here. Let's take a peek. Got Metal Creep saying we are here. Man, I am glad that you showed up. Don't block me, says Akancha. She has a question. I guess for anybody. Here we go. Let's see. That's me. What's up, Mads? Hey, I sent you a link, Mads.
Mads Mama Bear. Yes.
But I sent you a link just in case. Tube Dude, what's up? Yeah. Good job from Ontario. Is that Ontario, Canada?
Yeah.
Awesome. Bundle up there. Let's see. ACS is in the house. What's up, bro?
What's going on?
What's up, ACS?
Let's see. 6 o'clock news. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I can't watch the news anymore. It's just too damned what do you call it? I don't know. It's the presentation is more about.
It's depressing.
Yeah. It's like, hey, let's take a look at what's going on out there, fellas. Riots, killings, Corona. It sucks. Back to you.
that pretty much sums it up in a nutshell. Ryder? It's like, let's not even bother.
Ray, yeah.
What's up, Ray?
Universe. Let's see. Oh, we got McLovin in the house. See this guy
what up?
Everywhere. I don't think this guy sleeps.
He's at all the streams.
Big up, Zod Ryder. Yeah, James Hetfield voice. Who's James Hetfield? That's our first trivia question. James
Hetfield.
So that's why, and you can use Google. I just
free.
Yeah,
hands free.
Jacob Ludi, good to be here. Yes, thank you for being here. Smash that like button, everybody. Let everybody know that we are live. We are streaming on Periscope, Twitch, as well as YouTube, so you can watch us on any of the platforms. And it's always fun to see the little icon at the bottom, like you see right here, YouTube. It's always cool to see the other icons as well, just to see that you've got that reach. You can call me Joker. You're gonna hang on till you crash. Well, we'll try to keep you entertained until you fall on the floor and wake up in a pile of drool.
They're on us right now for not knowing the name. He said lead singer of Match. He said
lead singer of Metallica. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's
okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see. All right. What you say? That's Ontario. Yeah. Whew. So it is getting cooler. It's getting cooler everywhere, especially where I am. The weather is getting nice. In Portugal. Nice. I've never been to Portugal, but I hear it's lovely. It'd be nice to visit overseas, but I guess you can't do that now.
Well, you can virtually.
Yeah. And look at this guy. All right. Hey, joining from Periscope. ACS is a full-time YouTuber, or did he get fired?
Did get fired
because he's always streaming these days. I think that was his last little venture. That's why he was in that hotel room. They were like, "This is it. Here's your severance."
Well, remember what he said what he said about that? He said that was not fire. So let's just zero. Let's just.
Okay.
Didn't get fired though. I'm still working, but I just had a little extra time on my hands.
Nice. So that was just like a little mini vacay from the fam?
What? When they sent me? No, I didn't want to do that shit. No.
Let's see. Dylan's here. What's up, everybody? What's up, man?
Dylan, what's good?
I love the thumbnail right there. That's awesome. Or the avatar, rather. Yes, Maz Mama Bear is here, just watching the sunset and Detroit skyline. Yeah, that's awesome. Were you, Tube Dude? Did you have tickets to the that special screening this year of BVS that got canceled? because that would have been awesome. Because I know they were gonna have that.
I had
play
tickets to that
in Detroit. Oh, you did?
No, it wasn't in Detroit. It was a little. It was in Michigan, but it was called the BVS 4 years thing. Yeah. I had tickets, plane tickets, rental car already.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I
mean, I'm sorry that that happened to you, but
you were ready, man.
It's like in Meg's hometown or wherever she lives.
Okay. So and I think Zach had like something special prepared for that.
Probably
for that
like a little
screaming.
Yeah.
He did like a little pre-record.
Show the Snyder cut.
Oh,
he's like, hey, thanks everybody. Yeah, I don't know about the Snyder cut.
Look,
you'll find out in a couple months.
I was not in the tent, Nicotina.
Yeah, Nicotina still holds the getting kicked out by the wife.
But that's that tent though. He should just stream from that tent all the time. That'd be awesome. That could be his thing.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, he could have like a canteen. He could have like a little lamp and everything, and just like make it look
live
like
from the tent. It's the Nicotina Show. Yes.
Yeah, I know, right? Have some little what are those light bugs? Glow bugs?
Lightning bugs.
Fireflies.
Yeah, like the fireflies. There it is. Fireflies. Yeah, little where their butts light up. Let's see. Hi guys. Are your thoughts? Okay. What are your thoughts on James Gunn's HBO series? No. Is it James Gunn's?
Not
or is
fire.
it just the character?
Not fire. It's James Gunn's.
So you guys do not want to see John Cena portraying his character.
I'm sure we'll talk about it, but James Gunn is the one who tweeted it out earlier. So
okay.
Yeah, it's his thing.
Well, I mean, it is his character or
his
interpretation of the character. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I'm down to see it as long as Cena's all in, and he takes hold of that role and they do whatever they want,
I tell you what, that movie must be fire. If they gave it a show without movie hadn't even made a penny yet.
Wait a minute, ACS, we had that same issue with Kathleen Kennedy saying that Rian Johnson had a trilogy because they were so pleased, and then it came out and it was not fire.
Not fire. Yes.
Well, I'm just saying the studio must think it's fire.
But I mean the executives like that.
Well, remember the studio thought BVS was fire too. The studio thought BVS was fire. No, but I'm saying from their perspective. I mean, they even did a standing ovation and everything for BVS. From that's what they said. That the audience they loved it, and then the backlash they didn't know what to do because they expected all the fans to feel the way we do, and
Right. Well, I mean, they expect the fans to sort of follow what the critics say, and that doesn't comply these days, man.
Yeah, that's the disconnect. That's why
Kancha asked. I think this was her question from earlier. Henry Cavill's solo reason, or is Henry Cavill Superman the solo reason why Supergirl got canceled? I guess.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Supergirl show?
Yeah, the Supergirl TV show.
I think it got canceled because it just wasn't that good.
Because it sucks.
I mean, CW shows really don't have a long shelf life for being good because their stories just start losing interest. Because
and it's low budget crap. It's low budget crap. It's bad writing. It's like soap operas with capes.
That's like I said earlier on Seals.
What's up, DC?
What's up, DC? On Seals Coffee Talk was that the first season Arrow was fire. Like that show, it was low budget enough and it was very well made, but I thought they expanded too much. There's not enough money to go around. So that's when you had those Supergirl special effects looking cartoonish.
Dawson, in many ways, has they've given me no reason.
Dawson,
no reasons as of now to be excited, given the Social Security movie hasn't come out yet. I don't know what he means.
That would be an awesome comedy. Get every comedian popular today cast in a movie and call it Social Security and have it all be about all the woes and goofiness about Social Security in this country. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it would.
So what is the SS movies? Oh, Suicide Squad. Are you talking about James Gunn's? Or are you talking about David Ayers?
Are you talking about the Suicide Squad or just Suicide
Or a Squad? Suicide Squad or our Suicide Squad?
A Suicide Squad.
Dawson is shaking his head at us right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, Dawson brings up a point. The same thing with the Batman. They're talking. They did the Gotham show. They're talking about the Catwoman show, and we haven't seen the property yet. So it's like, is it going to be good? Again, they have assuming it's going to be good. Yeah, they have all this confidence that it's going to be good, but we don't know that. Damn, I'm really behind on the comments now. Let me jump. Let's see. I guess I could pull a Sill and just jump to the end, but I try to give everybody their due. Let's see. John Cena's in it. I mean, I would think that this is going to be, since it's a show, it's going to be on HBO Max.
It is going to be on HBO Max. James Gunn put out a poster, and it says Jimmy Gunn's
What's up, Andy?
Thing, and it has the only on HBO Max logo underneath it. So it's an HBO Max property.
I believe you, Andy. We will find out definitely, because if Victor Koo will let us know when he is leaving.
There's actually a thing. I don't know how reliable discussing film is. There's actually a post they just put up like 10 minutes ago that says Zack Snyder will begin filming new scenes for his Justice League in October.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, everyone needed to be tested. And then I think it's like it's good for 2 weeks or something. And then they have to get, or 3 weeks. I can't remember which it is, but then they have to get tested again. So Victor did go get tested. But he'll have to do it again, because it all has to line up with everyone's schedule. Where's my Batfleck series? If they are going to wait a minute before announcing that. I think they're going to because Ben Affleck wants to find out the reaction or the reception that he's going to get from not only Zack Snyder's Justice League appearing on HBO Max, but also the Flash movie that he's also going to be in. So, they don't want to throw everything out there and just sort of bombard you with a lot of news. That's why, Henry's not coming out with like, oh, here's all the films I'm attached to.
Well, I mean, if you ask Sil Abdul Inc., I mean.
Oh, okay, yes. Then, if you ask Sil Abdul Inc., then we're getting this.
Oh, look at the comments.
Breaking news, a team up for a world's finest outing with an unlikely pair. So that is Pattinson with Henry Cavill. And I think this is the only time you're going to see these two in their respective costumes in the same frame. But it is branded by Coffee Talk. If you look at the top left,
Be like Mikey.
And then also on the right, you'll see Sil Abdul Inc. 2020, all rights reserved.
Yes, shout out to Silly Sil. Yes.
Let's see. Okay, so let's see. Why are they announcing a James Gunn show? It's the same thing as we were saying just before. They announced the Gotham City. They announced Catwoman. They're just throwing things out there. For what reason? I have no idea. Maybe because they really don't have anything else to show us. I mean, there's so many other things that they could be doing for us, but I don't know. I don't know why they're just throwing announcements out there. Unless there's something going on with Ray Fisher that they're trying to sort of shun or cast aside. So look out for Ray Fisher. He might be coming out with something very shortly. Ray
might be dropping a video or something coming up. Because
here's something else. Let's cover it with some James Gunn news. John Cena is a huge property. They would like to hang on to. Well, I mean, yeah, he does draw an audience, but I mean, if you saw that one movie where he was a fireman, and it was some sort of comedy, I think. And it was made for kids.
With them kids, with the kids.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I'm sorry, it just wasn't. Let's see. Hold up. Let me jump ahead to some questions here so I can catch up to the comments because I am still behind. It's great. Yes, it is a great time to be a DC fan, which is take a step back from our hype. You know what? We do need to focus on what's ahead of us. We need to take it slow and say, hey, you know what? We need to ensure that the Snyder Cut is successful. It's already on the road to success, but there's still a lot of people that are still kind of, not in the know or don't understand exactly what it is, see it as a director's cut versus a completely different take on a prior story. A lot of that. So she's not interested in the Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman franchises any longer. Okay. I mean, hey, I'm not here to say, hey, you need to love this or hey, you need to not like this.
What up, sickness? Y'all hit that like button.
Yes, fire.
Yeah.
Hit that like button and get
Yeah.
fire. Sickness is in the house. I love Cena. He acknowledged. He acknowledged his he's limited actor, and that's fine because he came from another acting genre, which is WWE.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's different. That's physical acting, just like Batista and The Rock. But they do need to make a transition to kind of learn that craft a little bit more because it is a different engine right there. Let's see, what up, chat? He's probably off drawing. That's why he hasn't graced us with his presence this evening.
Yeah,
and that's cool. That's cool. I mean, he streams enough. He should just lay off the streams, Dawson.
he's all out there, definitely.
Let's see. Supergirl is hot, but show sucked. I mean, Benoist, she's an attractive lady, and I'm sure she could pull it off. I'm sure she could pull off a great story. But I mean, again, you're being shackled by writers from the CW. They're more into making dramas than they are into making like a superhero type situation. So it's just not as cool. It's kind of like if Star Wars went full soap opera, you'd lose a lot more guys that way too. It's got soap opera tendencies, but it's not full soap opera.
Yeah.
Let's see. I thought that was a question from Nerdy. My bad. Let's see. Because we were getting all these DC HBO Max movies and TV series, what do you think the next DC HBO Max movie or TV series announcement will be? ACS, we'll go to you. What do you think their next announcement? Yeah. For a movie that has not been, I guess, in the public eye thus far.
I don't know. I mean, as far as like Batfleck, I don't want to see. I want that to be a series, man. But that's the only one I can think of.
All right, Zod, what do you think? What do you think they're going to announce next?
I think at some point they're going to announce a Brandon Routh Kingdom Come Superman series.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
That would.
Now, do you think that'll stay on like HBO Max, or do you think they'll try to make that? Okay.
Yes, I think it'll be HBO Max. I don't think they would waste the potential of how good that would be on CW.
I mean, what do you think about them bringing like a Green Lantern?
Yeah, he's not wearing the right suit there, Ryan.
He's wearing the right suit. Yeah. I didn't upload that one, but I can if I have it. I mean, I have this one. I don't know if that works. But yeah, no, I think the next one that they're going to announce, I would think. Oh God, because I mean they've been promoting it for so long. Would have to be Green Lantern. I mean that was like at the initial start.
Yeah, but I think there's some Jeff Johns stuff holding up.
They are holding on to
Green
it
Lantern,
because of what's going on. Because he would stand to gain financially. So I think they're holding on to that a little bit. But I would think that would be the next thing that they announce. Either that or this guy here. Boom. Blue Beetle.
See now, I mean, how about a Booster Gold in Blue Beetle TV series?
Well, see, Booster Gold was more friends with or had rapport with the other Blue Beetle, the older Blue Beetle, right? Not Jaime, but the.
But
other
see,
guy.
That's why I think it would be good because you'd have the older Blue Beetle get killed.
Oh, so you would do like an
Ant-Man. Have the older Blue Beetle get killed off in the first episode, and then you got Booster Gold and Jaime having to work together.
Yeah. Okay. That could work. I'd love to see Booster Gold, in it, no matter what. Man, I made
Ryan Reynolds as Booster Gold.
We need to retire his jersey. Let's see where else. I'm going to skip some of these that I don't see questions. I do see the ambassadors here. What's going on, sir?
There he is. Yes. What's up, ambassador?
Let's see. Here we go. Is there any truth that Ryan ZEEVERFETT is playing Green Lantern? Well, I think from that photo that I showed, we all know that it's Andre the Not So Giant. So look for him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that. Is it going to be an HBO Max series?
What's going to happen? Yeah, it'd be an HBO Max. And what they would do is he'd find the Green Lantern ring, and then but it'd be broken, and that's how it would choose him
the
because
purple, and it would be the purple,
and it would be and it would change him to what is that? It's not envy. It's not lust. Crap. What are the Star Sapphires? They are not passion. Like crap. I'm at a loss. ACS, help me out. They are.
Oh, I don't know either. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to follow along with you, Ryan.
Yeah.
But
No. It's what are they? Holy crap! I'll get it in just a minute. There's hate. It's not love. It's not love. It's holy crap. I'd have to look it up. It's not. It can't be love because it's not about love. It's about it's worse than that. That's why they're villains. What love is a villainous trait. Sickness. So
what does he want? What is
sickness?
Let's see.
What does Nerdy want played from the beginning? He said play it from the beginning.
Play what from the beginning?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. There's no Andre's not on the show right now.
Oh, this is Nerdy says it in the chat. What you talking about, Dawson?
Let's see. Hold on one second, man. Star Sapphires. Let's see. Because I've got to get this. This is just gonna. It's gonna.
You gotta look it up
day.
because it's gonna ruin your day. You're gonna be thinking about it nonstop. It's be waking up in a cold sweat. Like what? What was it?
The power ring, the gem. What is it? Power battery, Samurons, the gem's power ring, incarnations. What is it? It doesn't just tell you.
Love. That's Nerdy says love too.
Is it love? It can't be love because it's because they lust. Because they get lost in that, or whatever. Let me see.
Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button.
Let's see. Virtue. Hold on. Virtue. Crystal vaults. Oh my god. All right. Well, we'll just go with love.
There's an emotion. It's an emotional spectrum. So you have the. So which one we're talking about? Which color are we talking about?
It would be pink.
Okay.
I know red is hatred. Blue is hope. Green is will. Yellow is fear. Black is death. Let's see. Shoot, and then the indigo. The indigo. They are like not contempt. I don't know, man. It's been a while since I've been through the spectrum, and I've got my fantastic DC. Yeah, and orange lanterns. That's
okay. You're talking about Star
Avarice.
Sapphire. You're talking about Star Sapphire, right?
Yes.
Okay, Star Sapphire. I'm looking it up now too here.
Sickness says it's technically not pink. It's violet. It's love.
Yeah. It's pink. It's pink.
Okay,
hold on, wait.
I found it. It's the rings were created directly out of Star Sapphire crystals as a weapon to fight against fear and hate. So it fights against fear and hate.
Is Larfleeze. It's cleanliness.
Violent energy. The ring can project beams of force-powered. The weapons, it says right here the weapons power is more an indication of the love of the user. Yeah, it's
love, but don't they get like totally consumed by it and go past love to where it's like they get blinded by it or something?
Here, I'll send it to you.
All right, Mads, do you have an opinion on this?
Opinion. Check your DM on Twitter. I sent you the full spectrum.
Oh, okay.
Watching you guys talk about this is painful.
It's going down.
Yeah,
Okay,
there it is.
okay, so-
I got it right here.
Okay, first of all,
It
it's
is love. Dang
violet.
it.
It's not pink.
And
yes,
it's love.
I know that it's in their navel. That's where they keep that. Okay, let's see. But yeah. So what were we talking about before I got on that tangent? I don't remember.
I have no idea now.
How did we get there?
I don't know.
It's good to see you, Mads, Mama Bear. How are you?
We were talking about. Yeah, I won't be the Green Lantern. I'll need to be taught by the Guardians from Oa. They'll need to help me out. So anyway, after that epic fail, God, I couldn't believe that it was love. I was like, it has to be like lust, right?
Rage, greed, fear, will, hope, compassion.
Love, that's
death,
indigo.
and life.
Yeah. And then you have Phantom, and then you also have Ultraviolet. Those are the other two. So I would love to see just a lantern show or movie or whatever, just tied into all of that, dude. That would be amazing.
There was a lantern show out about 10 years or so ago.
Are you talking about that cartoon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the cartoon was fantastic.
The live action. It was a fantastic show.
The cartoon one, they touched on. They actually went pretty good into all of the different lanterns. They
had it on several years ago. They had it on Netflix, and I remember I binge watched the entire show.
Okay, so on this question here from Cisco, I have to disagree with Goyer, and I have a movie. What is it? Blade 3. Go check that out. That's Goyer Unleashed. That's all Goyer. No one else.
Well, we can go back even further. David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury. We can go back even further. David Goyer's career.
I remember that.
Yes. No, you are correct. And that was the thing is like he got his name attached to like the Dark Knight trilogy, right? But the actual writer for the Dark Knight trilogy was or the other two were Jonathan, his brother. Yeah, Jonathan Nolan. So he deserves more credit than Goyer, but Goyer attaches his name. It's like it's kind of like those people who just like at the beginning of the film, it's like from the director of blah 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 brings you this, and it's like, but they weren't really there. They left the project mid project, but they still get their name on there because they had something to do with it. They got hired on. So I think that because of their respective guild. Their respective, sect or whatever, they have to have their names, kind of attached to the project. Which this guy right here can probably confirm what I'm saying.
Still on vacation?
I'll give you a better idea.
What's up?
How's it going, sir? I understand we have a short time with you, but man, any time is better than no time.
That is true. Guys.
So what do you think about David Goyer being the Feige of the DC universe? That is what Cisco has brought up as just like the Feige type that's sort of been thrown around today. I saw it on a couple different streams, so I'm not quite sure if that's true. But he was asking specifically about Goyer being or filling that role.
No. I'd say no. No.
Good man, and you can stay on the stream. So, who would you put in place? Who is your pick for someone to oversee the DC cinematic universe, whether it's on the silver screen or on the small screens?
I think you're going to need to give him a minute. Oh, you aren't closing. Okay.
Nobody. I wouldn't pick anybody. I would let Warner Max and Warner Brothers do what they want to do and just put good content out there. We don't need a follower. We don't need a leader. We don't need some top-notch Kevin Feige guy to come in and run it the way he wants, because technically a lot of directors leave Disney because of Feige, because he has this one goal, and if you get in the middle of it, you're kind of mucking up the creative process, and nobody wants to work with that.
Yeah. I mean, you fall into that, and then sort of you know, when you start looking at these Marvel movies, you start seeing that cookie cutter pattern that these directors have to follow, and all it is just a switching of the protagonist and a switching of the villains, and you include that their power sets, and there's your new movie. It doesn't really you know, give you an interesting story. It just gives you the same three arc film, but just in a different city with a different set of characters and a little bit of a different dynamic because of, you know, how they interact with each other. And that's it. Go watch Ant-Man and go watch, you know, Doctor Strange to really sort of have it shoved in your face as to like what their formula is.
Well, I mean, it just kind of goes with the flow. With everything that's happening. I mean, they just announced today, I just saw the article finally come out. So it lets me know that a lot of the trades and a lot of the inside people aren't even in the know when it comes to the information that's happening with my phone. It just keeps blowing up. I keep swiping things when things are happening. I think because I'm on this.
Yeah, they're like, he's on ZEEVERFETT's channel. Hit him up.
That's what people are messaging me. It seems to go with the flow that they're still allowed 5 to 6 months behind with all the information. I mean, Umberto kind of today was just discredited. This is coming back for more additional reshoots and to do top off scenes and things like that, and to do the additional photography needed that Zack Snyder even put out about a year ago. And the funniest thing about all this is it shows that if you're patient and you just wait, like I always tell people to just wait. Don't go ahead of yourself. Don't try to say that Henry Cavill and Robert Pattinson are going to be in the same movie together. Like, because now what you're doing is there's no information. And trust me, that was the first thing I ever did when I heard Robert Pattinson being Batman. It would never happen. And I mean it too. They will never share the same screen together, because he was even acknowledged at DC Fandom by Jim Lee, by Matt Reeves, by everybody, that the Batman is its own place, it's its own world, its own universe. Yeah. And we can't start labeling multiverse to mean everything, because then I'm going to be like, well, fucking go give me George Romero, or who was it? Fucking go give me Romero's Joker and put him on screen with fucking Jared Leto.
Yeah. So
that's
that's
a great point.
Do you think that they will resurrect the Frank Miller sort of storyline and sort of kind of use that trick, kind of, I want to say, sprinkle that into this new incarnation, or is that like dead and gone?
Which one?
The Frank Miller, what was it called? Justice League something. Justice League. God, it was right after Superman Returns, and before Man of Steel, and Frank. It was Frank Miller's Justice League something. And,
are you talking about?
That's with the guy from.
You're talking about George Miller.
George Miller.
Mad Max. You're talking about Justice League Mortal.
Yeah,
Mortal. Yes, you are correct. Yep. Yeah, with they had the guy that played in Shazam. He was supposed to be the Flash, Andy Brody. And then you had Brody. The guy from the Facebook movie. He was supposed to be Batman.
Army Hammer.
Yes,
Army Hammer.
Army
Hammer. Yeah.
And I think DC, Joe Manganiello.
I think it was DC.
Superman.
I think DC. I think it was DC something. DJ something for
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
No, for Superman. I think the guy ended up voicing Superman in an animated movie or something later on.
Are you talking about the guy from 21 Jump Street? The guy he was going to be in Marvel, but then they canceled his movie. What was his name? He
Channing
was G.I.
Tatum?
Joe.
Channing Tatum?
No,
Yes,
no,
Channing
no,
Tatum.
no, no.
Because he voiced it for
No,
the
he
Lego
wasn't.
movie, I think.
Yeah, he wasn't in it. But no, I know what you're saying. The Justice League Mortal film's it's never gonna come out. Like George Miller's moved on, but I mean, Ryan Unicomb is doing the documentary called Seven Friends, which is basically going to give everybody an inside look on everything about that movie from top to bottom. Like he's trying to keep a lot of the stuff secret. Like he won't share it with me. He won't share it with Taylor too much. Because he's trying to keep it very locked in, because there's a lot of people and a lot of insiders that want that information that he has, that he's trying to make a documentary about it to keep it kind of secret. But I mean, it just goes to show that when we put out the word multiverse like months ago, and now people are finally catching on to this idea, and then DC fandom sets up a whole event about multiverse, and then we start making up things that aren't really rational. Like we're going against what's being said, and now we're trying to in a way, well, anything is possible. Well, yeah, anything is possible. I'm not discrediting that, but what I am saying is that logic is also possible, and we have to use a little bit of our logic to kind of make things make sense. We don't just put things in a blender and spin it and see what comes out. That's not how it works.
No,
that's what
they're
some
doing
people
is throwing
do.
darts
That's
in the
some
dark
people do.
and seeing what sticks. Seeing what's plausible, like the whole Nicolas Cage thing, or the whole Pattinson with Henry Cavill.
Sil Abdul Inc. A broken clock is right twice a day. So
yeah, I mean,
shots fired, Zod.
I mean, I get what Seal's doing, but it's not Seal's doing. It's like, I don't know much of Mikey Sutton or Geekosity or whatever it is. I'm very interested to talk to them, and I think our producer has reached out and possibly trying to see if we can get like a full conversation, not like a let's talk about our scoops day and do this, but a full conversation about what are you hearing? Because to be honest, I've heard those same rumors that Mikey Sutton is reporting, and those rumors came out probably about 4 months ago, and nobody ran with them because they're not plausible. They don't fit. Because that's not what they're doing. I mean, they just canceled Supergirl, that I remember I was talking about back in, I think, March, that eventually it's going to get canceled because they're not going in that direction anymore. The more they can kind of isolate these areas, and you have to look at what's happening with Ray Fisher and Warner Brothers and Warner Media. They finally are now getting out real information about what happened. I read an article today actually talking about it, and I was like, well, fine. I mean, they're using piss poor words to describe it, but at the same end, I mean, they're actually acknowledging it. And if they can branch away from the person responsible, then the future for DC is going to be a little bit more open and vibrant in a way that people can make content without having to say, oh no, we can't use that character because we're going to use them. It's like, no, these characters are up for anybody to use.
Yeah. No, and I completely agree with that sentiment. I believe that they shouldn't hold characters hostage, man. If you've got a good story to tell and it happens to use a character that's already in the universe, then cast that character for your specific show or movie or whatever it is. So that the quality of the story is what is important, and not exactly who is in that role.
Well, now maybe because of the multiverse, that will be something that will be practiced, because now that you have a multiverse and you can tell stories that may not necessarily be in continuity with each other, it will be accepted. And the studio can look at it and say, well, good, we can have this movie that takes place in the Burtonverse running simultaneously while we have the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, because the audience won't be confused because they know that DC is a multiverse. So we can have movies that take place in any timeline and any continuity. It doesn't matter, because it serves the story. The story is what's most important. And if that's the direction they're going in, I think that's the greatest thing that could happen from the perspective of a DC fan. But at the same time, I don't think that it's plausible for us to be sitting here saying, oh, Robert Pattinson and Henry Cavill are doing a world's finest movie, and Supergirl from the TV show. The reason why I'm gonna give you a scoop right now. The reason why Supergirl is getting canceled is because Supergirl is going to be in the same movie that Henry Cavill and Robert Pattinson are going to be in together. She's going to be in the world's finest movie.
You heard it here first.
That's a scoop.
You
That's
heard it first.
for you, Sil Abdul. You and Mikey can have that. Copyright Zod Rider 2020. You can have that. Scoop. I'm telling you, I'm at the point where like I've come to realize that's what it is. I mean, anybody can pull anything out of their butt and say, "Oh, this is happening. This is happening right now." But I mean, if Robert Pattinson and Henry Cavill are doing a world's finest movie together, then it's plausible that Supergirl from the TV show is going to be in it. I mean, that might as well be. And they're resurrecting Cesar Romero too, and they're going to digitize him in as the Joker. That's going to happen because guess what? It can happen, and anything really that can happen will happen, right? I mean,
you got like that right there is what you're saying. Like if that was real, right? Let's say that's real,
right?
Is Robert Pattinson gonna? I think the biggest question now is Robert Pattinson's Batman gonna have a Superman? It doesn't need to because
Gavin, yes,
this is a Batman story. We're getting a Batman trilogy.
Right. It's a grounded Batman. It's a grounded Batman trilogy in the way that Christopher Nolan did his trilogy. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how anybody could look at that trailer and look at that world that Matt Reeves is crafting and expect there to be a Superman. I couldn't imagine.
I could see a Superman.
Okay,
in
Nicolas Cage,
Matt Reeves'
maybe
world more than I could see one in Nolan's world.
Yeah,
because I mean they're basically this. I'm sorry, they're basically the same type of superhero. Batman. It's like what would it look like if Batman were grounded in reality? And I'm like, okay, Matt Reeves, you're kind of putting. Giving us the same thing again. Yeah. But so what's different with yours? So I think what would be different with his is maybe the possibility of something a little bit more, I want to say extraterrestrial, but like, something fantastical.
Well, something that we haven't seen before in a trilogy that wasn't more focused on an animated cartoon, but Matt Reeves is giving us a Robin. He's giving us a Bat family. Yeah. He's giving us a deeper look, not at Batman, but at the family of Batman. We've never really got that look. And to be honest, I always look at the higher the archetypes of the characters, and I don't have to like watch the film, or I don't have to do. I'm not saying that I don't. I do. I love movies. But I'm saying like if I read the script and I saw the characters, right? Maybe. And I would say that Henry Cavill is nowhere matched to Robert Pattinson, and vice versa. The characters don't fit to the dynamics of archetypes and the tropes of those stories. So there's no way that these two titans would be on the same screen, because honestly, if Henry Cavill was in a same movie with Robert Pattinson, you would diminish Robert Pattinson's Batman as nothing more than a side character. And that character doesn't seem to be a side character. The character is really focused. The camera angles, everything, every little thing about that trailer tells you right away what this is, a very dark R-rated look. And to be honest, Henry Cavill would fucking kill that Batman compared to somebody like Ben Affleck, who literally has the same stature as him. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, it would be the same. It would be the same or similar situation. For Henry's character to come out and say, okay, I've dealt with this guy before as an older, jaded, person or whatever. But here he is beating the shit out of people again, striking fear and all that. I'm gonna have to do this again. It's just, hopefully Doomsday isn't around the corner. It's or Wonder Woman. It just, I can't see it being a world's finest if if this is the type of Batman that Pattinson's going to be, because then it's kind of like, well. Does Henry's Superman just give up and say, hey, you can torment your people and I'll torment mine, and we'll do world's finest, but it won't be us. It'll be the villains.
Well, I mean, you look at the Batmans, right? Like we all are Batman fans, I assume, right? We all read Batman comics. right? Just off across the board. So when I talk about Batman, I always particularly choose my Batman based on the story arcs. So the Detective Comics Batman is not the same Batman that we see in the Batman issues because he's doing different things.
Yeah.
He acts differently. A different writer writes him. A different artist even draws him for a reason. It's not because, you know, this Batman is not a pussy, this one is. No, it shows you that this Batman is so evolved that throughout its history, the Batman has to kind of, in a way, kind of mold to the story rather than the story mold.
So, and it also helps the reader sort of mentally click to the story, you know, of a different type of Batman versus if they all drew the same Batman in this with the same costume, with the same colors, with, you know, everything's the same. It's like, well, wait a minute, you know, it's just a lot easier for them to say, okay, Batman is a lot grimmer. His symbol's different, you know. I mean, so automatically I know this is a different Batman going forward in the story that I'm reading.
Yeah. I mean, it just lets us know, like Frank Miller had his style. Even, you know, Christopher Nolan had his style that was nowhere near the comics. And people don't understand that Batman was never in the comics. It wasn't. Like his style, his psychological approach, that was from psychological examinations of the character of Batman, not the actual character Batman. And that's what makes him so iconic, is because he was so different. Zack Snyder's version is a direct representation of like 4 different novels in Batman. And then Robert Pattinson is literally the Detective Comics mixed in with a little bit of New 52 style in the comics. I mean, it's taking elements and creating its own world, which I think is great. I mean, it opens up a new world that after Affleck, after Pattinson, I would love to see who the next Batman's going to be, because Ben Affleck is the Justice League Batman and Robert Pattinson is the film Batman. And it doesn't mean that Henry Cavill is going to fly on into the Batman with fucking Joaquin Phoenix's Joker and say, let's have a fucking party and cross over all this shit, right? Like, it would diminish all 3 of those characters in one move. It would. I would feel watered down as a fan if I saw Joaquin Phoenix on screen with Robert Pattinson and Henry Cavill. I would literally turn it off and walk away.
It just doesn't fit. It doesn't make for an interesting. Just having those characters come out and say these are the characters that we're portraying, to have them interact just doesn't seem intriguing or inviting to me to want to sit down and watch. You know, I think that's the biggest problem.
But if you want clicks, go ahead and say it, because you're going to get clicks if you say that.
I think people are curious. Click. People are going to be curious, though, Matt, just because of the pure ridiculousness of the entire concept. Like, we know that that's not going to happen, but yet, they're going to put it out there just to see how many people are going to be interested. Again, it's all for clicks. That's the whole purpose. So,
and besides, like what Matt was saying, I don't want to see Robert Pattinson's Batman standing next to Henry Cavill. It should look like a grown man with a child.
You don't want to see that. I just showed you that. This thing, it looks amazing. Boom.
I kind of want to see that. That'll be like Hulk meeting Loki all over again. Huge God.
Like color, like the aesthetics.
There'll be more controversy surrounding that than there would be that Cuties movie on Netflix.
Not going there.
I think when people watch the Flash film, right? So Zack Snyder's Justice League is, and a lot of people are misinterpreting his film to be just this one-off film. It's not a one-off. Like, they're doing additional photography with the whole cast. That means they're plugging in new areas that they can launch to. And this movie ends with the Flash. So in a way, the Flash is going to be set up in the next movie, but it's where he goes in that film. And a lot of people are going to be surprised where Ezra Miller's Flash goes. I mean, the comics are already drawing inspiration from that suit. They're already putting it in the comics.
Yeah.
I think the comic that came out today, The Flash, I think I posted on Instagram that the comic is taking direct representation from that. And at the same time, you're crossing it over with an older Batman, but there's going to be like 4 Batmans in this film. It's not just going to be Michael Keaton. The villain,
at least 3.
So it was going to be 4.
4? Who would be the 4th?
There's gonna be 4.
Okay, 'cause you got Jeffrey.
They're gonna somehow shoot Christian Bale in there somehow.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Aren't they?
Zod,
they're gonna either figure out a way to shoehorn Christian Bale in there for a cameo or George Clooney, one of the two.
If they're putting either one of those, you're going to see this in the film as well.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you never know. This is DC. It's a multiverse, right?
So he's definitely going to end the film at some point. They're going to develop this bad boy here.
The time treadmill. Cosmic treadmill.
Treadmill. Yeah. So that is going to be a thing. And I think they're going to make a couple different versions. I think they're going to make one. Cyborg is going to help build one. And I think that possibly maybe Keaton's Batman will help him build one. And maybe that's how he gets back. I don't know. Instead of putting him in an electric chair and shocking him, I think I don't know if audiences are ready for that yet. But the treadmill might be a way to go.
An enlightening experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's going to be an interesting film because when that movie comes out, people are going to look at it and be like, "Oh shit, now I know where they're going." But right now, everything's in murky water because people are waiting to see what's being announced next. I mean, the Peacemaker gets announced, and everyone throws up their arms and says, "Where's Batfleck? Where's the Air Cut?" And it's like people have to understand that they have a plan. It's not just like they throw shit out of the woodwork. If they're going to announce a Batfleck, they're not going to just randomly announce it on Twitter. They're going to make a big spectacle of it because they want the attention. And they're not going to do an Air Cut without the director going to announce it. So, I mean, you have to kind of look at this from a very logical point where the Air Cut's not going to come after. It's going to come after the Justice League film. And then Batfleck's not. The closer we get to Zack Snyder's Justice League, the more news is going to come out. And it's going to come pretty rapid, and people are gonna start choking on some of their words in a way, or they're gonna give up their flat they just purchased recently.
Sil.
Or they're just gonna change and pretend like they were on that side the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Sil.
It's just about looking at it logically. You know, like I'm not sitting here with the fucking golden piece of notepad like, oh, that's all the shit that I was told. It's like it just logically makes sense what they're doing. And it's like when I look and talk to people that truly know, or when I speak to Taylor and we talk about it, it's I don't want to say anything that's going to get me caught now. It gets me looking at the information and saying, well, that makes sense. Well, that makes sense. Well, this is what's happening. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's how they're going to do it. And that's the connection back to the beginning, which allows everything else to exist. And it goes all the way back to 2016. It's the pause, not stopped. We were literally paused for like 2 years of bullshit films.
Yeah.
And now we're back on track, which is cool.
Now I like what Nerdy's saying here because he used to like really love Bale. I know that Batfleck is his favorite, but that helicopter. It's not on this show, buddy. Not on this show.
You keep your ZEEVERFETT keeps his shows separate.
I do. I don't mix my dessert with my full course meal. So he sent me some news from Batman. Okay, yeah, that they're shooting in October. Yes, we have covered that. Mr. Nicotina, thank you very much. You can watch the beginning of the show and see where we were kind of going over that. 88 miles an hour. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Do we have any questions in here? Seeing an alternate Luthor. Yeah, there could be. I mean, if there's an alternate version of any character, he's a character.
An older Luthor, Bryan Cranston.
Right, an older Luthor, Bryan Cranston. I would have loved Bryan Cranston. I don't know if is he too old now? I mean, he's freaking.
He'll play the elder Luthor.
They would have to play like Kingdom Come. If they do a Kingdom Come, sort of story arc, I don't think we have a Lex Luthor in that story, do we? I mean, the closest thing we got to it, that actor's no longer with us, and Gene Hackman isn't really acting anymore. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he could definitely jump into that.
What I want to
That'd be
see
cool.
is I want to see Justice played on screen. I don't think we talk much about it, but the graphic novel Justice, they should play it on screen. In some
No, I
fashion, they
haven't.
should do that.
Oh,
Anybody?
what'd you say, Mads?
Oh, I was like, are any of you guys familiar with
the Alex Ross graphic novel?
Yeah, the Alex Ross Justice
Yeah.
graphic novel. I think they should do that. That would be something very unique and very out there. And I think kind of in a way, it would kind of
Is that the
sever
golden
different-
age? Of
No, that's not golden
superheroes?
age. That,
No.
yeah, it uses golden age superheroes. It uses a lot of old. Let me grab it. Take a tour around the house.
Michael B. Jordan is the new Scarface? I don't know about that. I don't know. It's interesting.
There we go.
Subscribe to ACS. Yes, subscribe to ACS Universe.
How can I flip this? Oh, there we go. So like this one, right?
Yeah. Alex Ross just has great. I love his Spider-Man and all. Just his artwork and showing you sort of
Mhm.
you know how their costumes lay on their bodies. It's just awesome.
So if they were to do something like this on screen, right? You do that Jim Kruger, Alex Ross, Justice on screen. I think people would see like it doesn't have to be one version of the Justice League. There can be multiple versions of the Justice League happening at different points. You know, it doesn't have to be. It's just like the comics, and I keep telling people it's the comics. Stop looking at it through a film like multiverse, like cinematic universe like Marvel. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
You can make more money technically as a business. You can make more money not doing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can build up a small, very devoted fan base of, these standalone, ensembles, and that's how you make, all this money instead of trying to, cast a large net and hopefully you get, a general audience to kind of, latch on. But, if you have just a small group of fanatics, because that's what fans are, then yeah, I mean, they can make a whole crap ton of money. Do you think they will make a Batman Who Laughs movie? I don't think they're going to do metal. I don't think they're bringing that in. That would be an interesting.
That would be
I think
fire.
they could do that. It would be fire.
It would be fire.
But I think that would be something more along the lines of like HBO Max. I don't think that they would throw that in theaters.
It's like with HBO Max, literally anything is possible. I mean, if they wanted to just do an off the wall Elseworld story and have Henry Cavill and Robert Pattinson team up in like an Elseworld's World's Finest story for HBO Max, that could happen.
Yeah.
No, they
But
got
it would be
they got
totally
upset over
Elseworlds.
they got upset over Batfleck killing some people. They aren't ready for the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah,
That is very true. That is very true.
So they watch Matt Reeves.
My Batman doesn't laugh.
Oh man.
That credit.
Good point.
Kingdom
Oh,
Come.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Matt?
I would love to see Kingdom Come happen. A real Kingdom Come, not the one they did on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, not the CW. Yes.
A Kingdom Come movie or HBO Max miniseries would be incredible. I think they should do it as a miniseries and do episodes in the form of like issues, like the way the original story came out.
Oh, that'd be fire.
That would be awesome.
I always look at it this way when I look at like television, HBO Max or any of those Showtime series. Like I'm very hooked on. I'm hooked on a lot of them. But it's when I look at CW, to me that's like fast food. That's like really cheap food, right? That's like McDonald's.
Yeah.
No,
And, like,
Taco Bell.
Yeah, and talk about really shitty shit, right? You're gonna regurgitate that through your mouth and out your ass, right?
And you're gonna regret that you ate it 20 minutes later.
Tums as a chaser.
because you're just kind of sitting there for 30 minutes watching these shows where they don't put much budget into it. They just kind of let it go, but it does bring a lot of, it tells you how they can do things. It's like a testing market, you know, let's put out this new product for $2.99 and see if people latch on. But then as you move up the ladder, you get to this sense where like films should be like, you're going to go eat at a nice restaurant, but you're never going to go to that restaurant ever again. You're going to only eat there once. You're going to like it or you're going to hate it. But again, you're never going to go back. Right. And then HBO Max is kind of like you're feeding yourself at home. You're like making your own food because you know it's going to be good because only you eat your shitty cooking. So you're only going to be sitting there eating your own food. It's kind of like watching your own, you know, HBO Max series. Like you're going to enjoy it regardless if it's bad or good because you're going to keep going back every week to watch it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think that could be, you know, a really good setup for success. Let's see if a Feige type. You're still talking about that Feige type, Cisco. It's like the fifth Feige type, you know, compliment that he's put out there. I don't think we need one. I really don't think we need a Feige type. We don't need somebody. We don't need an overseer. The overseer is
no, because we don't want it to be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We want DC to be true to DC.
See, if Darkseid boom tubes to the Batcave, killed Lois, people would lose their shit. You know, to be honest with you, I mean, are they really going to do that? Or because I remember at the Snyder Con, he was saying that was something that they did not put in that they rewrote.
Mm-hmm.
So because they rewrote it, are they trying to fit that back in now that he has complete control?
I hope so.
Oh yeah, hopefully now they're doing the whole original script as Zach initially intended. Scary and all.
That was the scary idea. Was if you watch that whole entire video, it's very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's very good. Don't forget the fire sauce. Oh, from Taco Bell. Oh, gross.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is fire. It definitely is fire.
No.
The Superman solo movies is true. Yes, it is. So you can take the question marks out, and that would be a statement. Then you'd be like, hey, Superman solo movies is true.
3 of them.
Let's see, just joined. Did I miss anything Batman related? No, Batman, you did not. We didn't talk about Batman until you got here. So, but if you don't believe me, please watch the full episode when it is completely online and available. Let's see. Do you think the HBO Max is going to do the Nightwing movie, or they're waiting for Matt Reeves to introduce Dick Grayson? Then they're going to put it on the big screen. If they do a Nightwing movie, I think it's going to be a different iteration. It's not going to be the Dick Grayson of the Matt Reeves trilogy. It's going to be its own thing. It's going to be Nightwing, like the Nightwing that we got from the Titans movie. It's a different actor portraying, you know, in that movie. I don't know if it's still going to be Adam McKay, or is it Adam McKay or Chris McKay? Adam McKay. That I don't know if he's still attached or if he's still going forward with that, because he is doing his Dungeons and Dragons project. So I don't know if that is just shelved, because that was Batgirl and Nightwing were something that they announced during the Jeff Johns era of Terra. Yeah. So I don't know if that's still a thing, or, you know, if it's not.
Well, they promised Joss Whedon Batgirl, but then when Justice League didn't pan out and all the shit that happened, they just gave him the boot.
Yeah, I think roughly around the time where his wife came out, that's when they were like, "Oh, yeah, you don't get these keys." Let's see. Can't you? Where's Superman movie announcement? It is on theculturednerd.org. I think that's the web address where you can find that article. Let's see. Use the treadmill. Darkseid rigged up for Barry in jail. Dark Apocalypse War. Oh, where he's like a hamster. Yeah. Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah, no, I'd love that, because he is one of the surviving members at the end of according to Jim Lee, So yeah, it'd be cool if Darkseid, used him and made him run to power, Apocalypse. Let's see. No Feige hero in Marvel. Yeah, pretty much. Hold on, let's see. If they Warner Media does that format Feige, it will be Jim Lee or Deborah Snyder. See, I don't know if it's going to be Deborah. I mean, I'm sure she's great at her job. I'm sure she's, fantastic, ally for Zach.
I could see it being Deborah Snyder. I mean, optically.
But I mean, it's the same. I mean, she's a producer, right? Kathleen Kennedy was a producer. Did Kathleen Kennedy do well in that role?
Yeah, but Deborah Snyder's not Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah. So.
But Kathleen Kennedy has a lot of really awesome films under her belt, and she's got a lot of knowledge, know-how, and just everything. I mean, she's a powerhouse, and I'm sure why George picked her because he was like, oh, look at your track record. But again, same thing. Deborah Snyder. I know that her husband is sort of the overseer of this. But I mean, is that just putting too much faith into somebody who happens to be in Zack Snyder's household? Anyone?
I think she.
Then I
think she'd be perfect for the job. To be honest,
yeah. If they went that route and they did choose her, I think we'd be in good hands. But, I'm like Ryan. I don't think we need it, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll move on because I know Sil brought her up earlier.
Sil's in the house. Look, Sil said just catching up.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. What up? He always says hello to Hugo. Thanks a lot.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there he is, the scooper.
Interesting opinions on the panel today. Well, you can see his opinions, but I think they're closer to fact. Thanks a lot.
Hey, so.
Let's see. What do we have here? When do we get a Ben Affleck movie or miniseries? Do you think Jared Leto would come back? It just all depends on if they can entice him to come back and how well his Morbius movie does. Morbius movie does. Let's see. It's Chris Adam.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
I read that earlier. Yeah, he's right.
Okay. So Chris McKay. Adam's the chap who made Vice.
I can hear Hugo saying that right now.
Yeah. I could see Deborah doing it. Finish eating your Taco Bell. Let's see. It's implied he was Robin because of the costume, but you're talking about Joker. Yeah, no, he's not Robin. He was the Joker. Dressed him up in the old Robin suit before killing him. And that could very well be how they have that planned out. Do you think they're going to shoot like a backstory or a flashback for that sequence?
What do you mean? Oh, for the one
for Jared Leto's Joker beating down Robin.
It'd be fire if they did. I don't know if they're. I mean, if they get Jared Leto back, I mean,
the only one I could see that he would be telling this to would be the Flash. In that he's lost family too. Not it's not just that both Barry and Bruce have lost their parents. Barry's father's in prison, but his mother's dead. But also that he lost. He lost somebody else and he wouldn't go back and change that, or I don't know. Because Barry is all about going and saving his mom. Do you think that that's still a thing? That's the reason why he's going back and screws up time because he's being selfish, or do you think he has different motivation? I think that's a better
for his movie.
For his movie, for him to be going back and meeting up with Michael Keaton's Batman.
I think
is his motivation to go save his mom, or is his motivation something that's selfless?
Nah, I think it's to go save his mom's.
Zod, what do you think?
I think it's to go save his mom.
Yeah. Mads?
A large part of me wants to say go save his mom, but I think it's actually going to be something more selfless. I mean, we did see in Batman versus Superman the clip of the Flash talking to him. He's like, wrong timeline, right?
Yep, that's true. And okay, Zod will probably come back. Matt, what do you think about that? Do you think it's to save his mom, or do you think it's a different reason? Oh, I can't hear you. Let's see. Am I the maybe come back or go out and come back in because I have no audio.
He was just moved by the question. He had no words.
Yeah. I think it's because it's like hit me right here.
You asked him in such a compelling way, man.
Yeah. He got all teared up.
No, but I think it's. I mean, because what he's doing in the Justice League, that's the selfless. I think.
Yeah.
Because going back to tell Bruce or whatever. Like Zack Snyder said, it's like, you want to go through this hole or that one? He's like, well, which one would you have sent me through? Yeah. He's like, this one. He's like, well, then send me to the other one, because when you did that one, Barry was in my cave talking some nonsense.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you think that it's all about business, and then after the whole, taking care or defeating Darkseid, then he tries to go back and save his mother? Do you think we'll have the Reverse Flash in this thing, or do you think that's just too much?
The Reverse Flash, man. See,
the Reverse Flash is such a huge villain, and one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's one of mine also. Yeah, I just can't see using it there. It's gonna be odd, because if they do have Reverse Flash in there, that's even wetting, just getting you more thirsty for some Flashpoint, which this isn't gonna be. So, like, I don't know.
Right. I mean, and so what was being told is that this is not Flashpoint.
Yeah, exactly. But
so because it's not Flashpoint, during this time, he's not saving his mother. It's a different reason, and then we can go through and say, okay, he's going to save his mother later on, and after Darkseid is destroyed.
Oh yeah. I mean, in Flashpoint, like it starts off with like a huge thing, doesn't it? And then after it's over with, he goes running, and next thing you know, he wakes up and his mom's alive. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So what do you think, Matt? Do you think it's selfless, or do you think it's he's going back for his mom?
Like I was trying to say, I know I probably got cut off, but Mads had a good point. Is that the Flash is still trying to figure out his powers. So we only see a little bit of it in Zack Snyder's Justice League, where he opens up the Speed Force. And in BVS, he should be more experienced on where to go, but he messed up. He went into the wrong timeline. And now once he did that, we had multiple different timelines. So there's already a multiverse kind of established in Zack Snyder's Justice League, because the time of relativity would have opened up that portal and allowed different timelines to happen. So to see him in the Flash film, it does sound like he's going to go do something that's very selfish, and he's going to go into Michael Keaton's world, and he's going to open that up. Once he does that, he's opening up more and more worlds, and it's like one big, I forgot what a butterfly effect. Once you do something, it's going to affect other worlds, and it's going to alter them and change them.
Yeah.
And this could ultimately be, kind of allowing, because Darkseid is on the outside of the multiverse. He doesn't see time the way we all do.
Aren't there multiple versions of Darkseid that he went and he goes and he kills other versions of himself?
He does. Yeah, he does, but he's still on the outside of time. If you look at the map, he's not part of it.
Oh, right.
But if he's caught within the worlds, there can be multiple versions of him.
And that's how Supergirl can maintain her age.
Yes,
because she's outside of time.
She's outside of the realm of time where Apocalypse is. So that's why he never ages in a way. He just becomes stronger and stronger. He's forever endless. He's a god. He's a new god. And so when you look at the ability of looking at the Flash, I do believe that it is going to be a very selfish move that he does, but that's what's going to make him the hero that we know. He's going to start to develop a sense of selflessness, because he doesn't know what to do in BVS. We see that. We see him in Justice League briefly in the trailer, and even when he saves Iris, he still fails in a way because he didn't stop the car from exploding and possibly hurting other people. He didn't see that when he broke through the glass that the glass shards would spray out. He's running out there barefoot. He's exposing himself. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows he wants to do the right thing. He just doesn't know how to do it. And I think that when the movie comes out, we're going to get a better look at his character and his overall arc. But I do agree with Mads is that he did fuck up and went to the wrong timeline. So he's going to do it again, but he's going to do it not just once. It's going to be multiple times. It's going to be multiple attempts.
That we will definitely get in this movie. Do you think that we'll get a reverse Flash, or do you think they'll hold that off until that other story?
Do you know much about his character?
The reverse Flash? That he impersonated Barry in his own timeline, and then he went back and tried to cause Barry, or not cause Barry, but tried to speed things up for Barry so that he could. What was it? Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of him, but I don't know. I'm not intimate as like Superman or Batman, but I do know.
He's basically Barry Allen.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I watched Tenet, and I want to do a video or something on Tenet because that movie blew my fucking mind. Has anybody watched Tenet here?
Yeah. My review comes up tomorrow, actually. So stay tuned for that.
Okay. Mads, have you watched Tenet?
Not yet. I've actually got it on my list of need to get to it soon.
Okay.
It's fire.
I won't reveal too much because I want people to enjoy this movie, so I'm not going to go into it in detail. But in the movie, there is reverse time and then there's present time, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
Put that same idea in the logic of Flash and Reverse Flash, and look at it Tenet, and then look at the Flash and Reverse Flash. That's what's going to be happening.
So their lives are forever intertwined.
Yes.
So when Eobard starts, that's Barry's end, and when Barry starts, that's Eobard's end.
That's his beginning. They're beginning and ending at different points in time.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Flash has already done something, the Reverse Flash has already done it. And then when the Reverse Flash has already done something, that's Barry actually doing it. It's the relativity of time. You know, if you look at timeline on a straight line, and if we're trying to meet at one point, the moment that happens, when Flash and Reverse Flash see each other, that's a ripple in time. That's a multiversal, expansion. So when the Flashpoint happened, it was because the Reverse Flash saw the Flash, and that's the ripple. So the villain of the movie isn't the Reverse Flash. I don't think we'll get much of him in the film, but we will get a lot of nods to him. We'll see a lot. I hope the way they do it is they make him more like a background character, like a shadow character that comes later. But
Right. Kind of give you hints of him, but not really give you any dialogue.
Yeah. The villain is going to be time. Just time. You know, you can never change your destiny type of deal. Like you're stuck. And no matter what you do, you're just going to alter everybody else's destiny because you're selfish enough to focus on yourself. And so that's kind of in a way implying that his selflessness is he's going to have to accept his reality.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's an interesting concept. I do hope they flesh that out. So, but that'd be really cool. What do you think, Zod?
I missed because I was late. What was the question here? Because
we're talking about the reason that this here happens. Do you think it is selfless, or do you think it's selfish that he goes back and gets caught in this timeline? Do you think it's because he's going back to save his mother?
I think it's two-pronged. I think he's going back to save his mother, but there is a more selfless reason there, which is that, you know, there's some other stuff going on with the Justice League and Darkseid that he's trying to prevent as well.
So do you think it starts off as selfless and then he figures out, you know, how to do this, or
I'm kind of thinking that that's what it is. Like, it starts off as a selfless thing, and then he realizes, hey, I could
kind of
save
like Marty, you know, like, I've got a time machine.
Maybe I
can
could
just go back 10 minutes.
Right. Maybe I could save my mom. I can do this, and I can save my mom while I'm at it, you know.
Yeah.
Not realizing all the implications that it's going to have later on.
The implications. I love that word.
Yeah.
I love the word.
I mean, you say anything else like that, Zod, and Matt's just going to get styked.
I'm gonna get super psyched on some implications.
Hey, Matt, I'm with you. I love that word too, because it makes perfect. It makes perfect sense. And
I'm gonna make a banner that just says "Get styked."
Ryan, do you have the scene from the trailer?
Which of the Zack Snyder
when the
trailer?
Flash is running and he sees everything happen, and then time slows down, and he's running through the Speed Force.
When he's throwing the, I don't have the trailer on me, but when he's like throwing the ground in front of him.
Because Zod has a good point. He realizes that he can change time because he's that fast. So as we leave Zack Snyder's Justice League and move on into the Flash, that story and that idea in his head that he can do this is going to be explored, like Zod's saying. I mean, that idea is going to be explored. How far can I actually push it? But I do need help. And the closest person to help him is who?
Cyborg?
Yeah. He understands it. Cyborg's got nothing else to do. He doesn't want to go out.
Yeah. I mean, Cyborg is
I wouldn't be surprised if you get, if we get that, you know, Marty McFly, you know, conundrum in there somewhere, you know,
the
where
grandfather paradox,
or, you know, the idea where he's trying to decide, you know, like, well, gee, I can do this. I've got 10 minutes. I can, you know, like there's going to be all these different things that, you know, I think there's going to be all these different plays on it. But as we know, Zack Snyder has essentially established the rules of time travel in a very intelligent and scientific way. So I don't think that this Flash movie is going to do away with any of that. It's all going to be part of the bigger picture.
I think the Flash is going to have that moment where he's like, I've got my ticket home.
Implications.
I've got this thing, but because I know I can do these things, I can also take care of that on my way back.
Right.
Everybody else, and then he, you know, that might open up for something else, or you know, but wouldn't that change Zack's story?
No.
If he changes things.
No, because Zack has not just one timeline; he's got 3 different timelines.
Yeah, he's got the Nightmare timeline, and then he's got what the normal, the regular timeline.
And let's not forget we've got the Justice League timeline.
No, that one's huge into a tangent.
No, that it's still part of the timeline now, because you have the Nightmare, then you have the. If you look at it this way, if Ben Affleck in that scene in the Batcave, if he never saw the Flash, he would have never went on to discover the Justice League. He would have let it be. But he didn't. He took what he said, he kept it, and it's logged in his cerebellum. You know, it's deep in his long-term memory. It's always going to come back. But in this way where the Flash kind of goes, and I know I use Tenet as an example for a lot of people that didn't see it, so I'll use something more simple. Back to the Future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If you go Back to the Future, right, and you try to save your grandfather, and you save him, and you put him on the right course, what's to say that his destiny is eventually always going to die? One of the best examples of any time travel was, I think I watched it, I think it was Mr. Nobody. No matter what they did, he could have never saved the person he loved. They were always eventually going to die. That was their destiny. And so in this way, the Flash has this kind of shows that the Flash has the most power. He's the strongest character.
Yes.
Because
absolutely.
We already see it in Zack Snyder's trailer that he's strong and powerful because he can alter time. And Darkseid is afraid of that. Darkseid is aware of that. He understands time is very important. It's very relevant. But to have somebody like change and alter that and then land somewhere in Michael Keaton's world, like the Comet here, and randomly land there, that kind of shows you this idea that he's trying to save. No one, Seal, go back and watch the rest. No one's saying it's not about his mom, man.
Yeah, lay it down, man.
Come on,
there you
man.
go.
Understand the full conversation.
Silly Sil. Silly Sil.
It's not saying that he's trying to stop Justice League or to help Ben Affleck's Batman. He's trying to do it in a selfish way, and he's going to have to do it to kind of show that if he saves his mom, that ripple effect is going to destroy everything that's happening.
Yes.
It's this butterfly effect that's just going to carry on.
What up, Prime? Okay.
The man is here.
Oh,
Hey, everybody shut up. Prime is here. We're going to get some knowledge right now.
Hey, Prime, glad we share that knowledge of those actual factuals.
No, I mean Matt makes some good points, but I want to what I said was that with the Flash and with Barry, what I'm saying, the point I want to bring forward to a lot of people is that they might put Infinite and Final Crisis elements, and let me explain to what I mean. When Barry is in the Speed Force, and they might just go this route, when he's in the Speed Force, okay, and we're going to get all these alternate timelines, he's probably just going to do, if they write it in this way, because if you read Infinite Crisis and you read the series, he goes through time so much because he's getting chased by death. Now my question is that if he's in the Speed Force, let's just say hypothetically, all right, and he's new and he just got the Speed Force, if they might change it to the point is that if he starts running, then we're going to see all these other events because he doesn't know what's going on once he goes into the Speed Force, once he see this entity. Now, in the actual comic, Barry actually died. And the only reason why Death is chasing him is because he's supposed to be dead, but he's actually alive. And the Grim Reaper is actually in the Speed Force, is coming to get his soul. Okay. But now it could be in that manner, or they just change it. Okay. Now with Barry, if they so happen to write it to where he dies in a part, I'm talking about the god dang, I got myself all mixed up because his books and his stories is crazy because it's all over the place. But if they do that version where he's in the Speed Force, where he just jumps into it, he goes chaotic in it, he can just go to all different timelines and don't even know what he's doing. He's not even aware of what he's doing.
Yes.
And then once he finally finds out what he is doing and he can control it, in his mind, knowing that his mother is dead, he's like, I got the ability to go back in time and I could change these events selfishly. He's not doing it morally, he's doing it selfishly. Knowing that he can go into the Speed Force, he can alter and mess up a lot of stuff. He knows this, but he doesn't care at this particular time and moment. And that's where we get a lot of stuff that's going on. They're gonna simplify it, but how will that actually happen for him to go chaotic in the Speed Force? Will Death so happen to chase him because he's in the Speed Force? Because once he's in the Speed Force, he's going to see all type of flashes. He's going to see Lou Gehrig. He's going to see Bart. What's that man's name?
Bart Allen.
Not Bart Allen.
Wally.
Not Wally. Wally is further down. Wally is not even in a version if it's further. I'm thinking of it's another Flash. It's in the Crisis series. His name is Bart.
Jay Garrick?
No, I said Jay Garrick. Okay. I said Jay Garrick. I'm trying to think. It starts as B. I just can't think of that. But his first name is Bart. His name is Bart. I know his first name is Bart.
I know there's a Bart Allen, but there's another one. Another Bart.
No, that's it. Bart Allen.
Simpson.
Not Bart. It's not Bart.
No, there's a Bart. There's a Bart Allen. There's Bart Allen.
How do you think he gets all across Springfield that quickly?
Yeah.
Now that makes sense.
I mean,
Eat my shorts.
it's a lot of things that can actually happen with his story, but we do know that for them to have his story be very sentimental, they have to use his mother. They have to use that. They have to use the reason why. and have a reason why and what's going to happen. But the actual with him going into the Speed Force, that is what's going to be the version how they can change up a lot of stuff. I don't know how Zach will actually do it, but that would make sense if he actually goes into the Speed Force first, and then he actually runs into Death, and then Death is chasing him in the Speed Force, and while he's running to get away from him, this is where all these chain of events start happening.
Do you think that they would bring in what are those those speed demons that chase him? Not the Black Flash, but the other ones, the ones that are sort of in control of the Speed Force, or sort of
that's Death.
Death.
That's Death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah,
he's actually time. I know we call it death, but that is actually time. You're running from time. You can't run away from your own death. You're eventually gonna fuck up. And so I agree with what Prime's saying, that something happens in the Speed Force that fucks us up. That it always happens to the Flash. I'm sorry, it's just an ongoing thing to the Flash. He always fucks up somewhere, right? So
he always
he's going to run and fuck up
something.
Yeah.
He always does. He always runs it. I want to clarify the "you call me Joker" comment. He said something about Batman.
Batman?
I never said that Ben Affleck didn't discover the Justice League. I said if Barry Allen's Flash never went into the Batcave, then Ben Affleck's Batman would have never discovered the Justice League. That's what I'm saying. If that event never happened, we would never get the Justice League. It was because of that mistake we got the Justice League. Hence, we'll have two timelines where there's a succession and then there's a failure.
Yeah.
Do you think that they could use? Do you think that they could use Justice League as part of a failed timeline?
Dementors. Get out of
here. I think they'll just erase it.
I don't think that they will. I don't.
Maybe they won't even. Maybe they won't even acknowledge it at all. Period.
It won't be acknowledged.
Yes.
Like whoever likes those can keep watching the CW shows, and there you have it.
Yeah, the CW show was actually ran by Jeff Johns, so a lot of that Flash stuff was coming from him.
And that would actually explain why they're canceling Supergirl. Then maybe we're going to see a trend with CW shows.
I hope, in a way, I hope so. There's a couple good CW shows that they should keep, but they're not going to get rid of it anytime soon. They're going to keep them going. But I know Batwoman's going to get canceled maybe after their next season. I
don't even know if the new Batwoman will even go a full season. It just looks like they're just
have they shot it yet? No, they haven't shot it yet. They just cast it and announced it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's everyone. Ben, Gal, Ray.
Nicotina brought this up to me. I don't know this guy. Maybe you guys do. Mark Hughes.
Oh yeah, Mark Hughes with Ford.
Yeah, he had something that I guess a thread that he was doing. So let me bring this in here real quick. And then you guys can...
an article. I like Mark Hughes. He writes pretty good stuff.
Okay, so here it is. Let me get Nicotine out of here. All right. Since it's now public knowledge, I can say some things I've not been able to say before. The amount of dollars spent on Snyder's Justice League isn't a reflection of his original cut being as incomplete as folks used to claim. It's because new footage is being shot beyond just finishing his cut.
Oh yeah, all stuff we knew before. Yeah.
The original Snyder cut.
Can you make it bigger? Can you make it bigger?
Drop the comment.
Drop the comment. What do you mean?
There's a comment on the screen.
Yeah, I'm on a tiny phone. I can't see.
Oh, hold up. Let me go back. Beep.
All right,
and make it bigger. Let me see. Oh yes, hold on.
Control plus.
Hang on one second.
Control plus on your keyboard. It'll make it bigger.
Okay.
Nice.
Zoom. Yes.
Zoom factor. Yeah.
Also another Batman. Flash villain.
Flash villain. Yeah. Well, it's Wally West's villain, but I did like what the CW did to it. And I do like that character as well. He's pretty cool. I'd love to see him go up against Ezra. as well as Eobard. Let's see. The original Snyder Cut. Can y'all read it now? Or do I have to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The original Snyder Cut we talked about. Is that AB? For the past year plus was more than 90% complete and did not need tens of millions to get that cut done or cut into shape. The higher dollar amount is because the work on film includes re-editing into the individual episodes plus new footage.
Yes.
For example, there are certain DC characters that are originally intended. There are certain DC characters originally intended to be in the JL, Martian Manhunter, and I'm probably thinking the Atom and maybe various others. But those scenes weren't filmed, and it was dropped at that time. Now, however, things have those things can be added in as well as other scenes, and it all needs different editing into episodes with the right pacing. So no, the original, it takes tens of millions of dollars to finish the Snyder Cut claims were not proven true by the budgeting for Zack Snyder's Justice League. The reason some press have claimed we were right all along is because some Warner Brothers folks were falsely telling the press no new scenes would be shot.
Yes.
The Warner Brothers folks may have legitimately thought that was true, by the way, but are because it appears a lot of folks at the studio are still not always sure about what's up. Partly because they are changing and influx a lot, so that a lot of folks aren't in the loop on anything.
Yeah,
we've been new.
Yeah, we've been new.
Yeah. That's what we've been telling you, Real Anarchy, but you didn't listen to us. Oh well.
And this is the thing that I stress a lot. I can literally name all the trades that get what source from what individual. That's my job, right? That's what I do. What I do is I call people out on bullshit.
Bullshit.
Like I said, Mark Hughes is a good guy. Anybody that gives Mark Hughes kind of shit needs to understand that they're not. You look at the trades, right? The trades have an ethical responsibility to report what is being told to them from the studios. So when entertainment trades get this information, they have to be ethical in their way of their approach. Even if they have the right information, they still have to be ethical and report the information. However, they can always do rhetoricals, or they can bounce it off, or they can do, open-ended questions. What do you think? That's what a lot of scoopers do now on their sites, is they go, what do you think of the news? Because it leaves that open-ended responsibility. We're not saying it's true or false, but the trades can't do that. The trades have to literally say, this is what's happening at this time. Do you believe? That's the statement they'll ever say. They'll never say that. Do you believe? At the end, what they'll do, I dropped my phone, is what they'll do is they'll try to keep it as ethical as possible, but at the same time, they know some of the shit they're getting is bullshit. But there is some articles like The Wrap with Humberto Gonzalez who literally will spout shit out of his mouth if it gets some clicks. And he'll do it because he's helping out his buddy Jeff Johns. He's helping out all these other people. And then I know you brought up Real Anarchy. I try not to bring those guys up because they know nothing. They are literally fans with a website that just want to get clicks and get attention and get sponsors.
Well, I bring them up, Matt, because they, for years and years and years, talked about how the Snyder Cut would need tens of millions of dollars worth of visual effects done in order to be completed. That's why we dubbed them, a lot of them over there. That's why they were called. They got to be famously named as the 40 Club, because they always say, "Oh, it's going to cost $40 million to get this, to get the movie finished. It's going to cost $40 million to finish the Snyder Cut." So you had Real Anarchy, you had Stephen Colbert over at Screen Rant. They all said the same stuff. So it's kind of like, it's nice to hear that, to be vindicated on that level, to hear that, it would not have been that big of a deal if Zach wanted to finish that cut of the film.
No, I get you. Because if we're talking about the Snyder Cut, that movie did not need any money. He could have literally together and put it out. But Zach, from the very beginning, always said, I'm not going to put out something I'm not going to be happy with, because that movie he shot, and I said it multiple times, he shot 2 movies. He shot the movie that the studio wanted, which was his 214 cut. And then he shot his movie. And his movie, like I said, there's more Justice League characters, and me and Taylor have been saying forever, it's not just Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. It's literally other characters from DC were being placed in this movie as setups for what was to come. And now it sounds like when we were getting all this information and we're looking at it and we're seeing what he's doing, he's doing what he wants now. That's why I keep telling people, this is not a one and done thing. Zack Snyder's Justice League isn't just, hey, let's package this bitch out and put it out. The trades want you to believe that because the studio's telling you that. And when you see people like Real Anarchy flip-flop their responses, I always look at people like that as individuals that don't know what they're doing. They're just doing what they're being told. So if somebody says, well, my source said this or my source said that, you kind of have to take into account, does my source even know what the fuck he's doing? And who is my source? Who does he work for? What does he do? What is he claiming to be? Right. So in this regard, I think a comment came on the screen. How many sources does it take for me to believe if something's true? I need at least 5 to 6, and they don't all have to be saying the same thing, but if they're in the same ballpark. And for instance, I know Taylor has a shitload of sources, but me and Taylor are pretty skeptical when we hear the things we hear. We kind of, in a way, when he hears it, he has to show it to me before I can put it on the show. And it's not something that's just going to be like, oh, I'm going to take everything you say. Like, everybody thinks that when he comes on the show that I believe everything he says. Like, no, I literally will grind him for like 2 hours before the show and ask him all these questions in advance and find out if he can say certain things. But the thing that you've learned
is that he's credible. So you don't have to be.
What I always say.
So you don't have to push as hard when you know you have credibility in your midst.
I'm a pusher.
Oh yeah,
I'm a guy
and that's good. And that's,
I knew it.
Matt, and that's great, and that's beautiful. But I'm just saying, in that case, when you have credibility and you're in the midst of credibility, you know that you have something legitimate there. So it's not as you're not as skeptical as you would be of some of the other stuff you hear.
Yeah, not only am I credible, I'm incredible.
That is true, because Taylor, there's parts where he'll say something that I've already been told that just confirms everything that I was told, because there's so many people that have burner accounts on Twitter and Instagram that will be very open. The Ryan Reynolds thing being Green Lantern was such a hoax from Warner Brothers. We knew it months before all those people were trying to put it out there. Like, I don't know, the real guys, right? The Real Anarchy guys were trying to push this Ryan Reynolds thing. That was a hoax. That was a smoke screen. Those are smoke screens. They're not real information. Grace Randolph put it out too, because a lot of her inside people are the same people that feed false information. Sometimes she gets corrected. I'm not saying she's always wrong, but what I'm saying is that when she gets information from the studio, she runs with it because it came from the studio. However, those are smoke screens. They're put out to put out fires that are already started. This is Warner Brothers' game for like 20 years. They've been doing this for a lot longer than 20 years. I think up to about 40, 50 years they've been doing this. This is how they do their business. But since we're in the age of technology and internet, and people don't know people anymore, and this shit can get out within a day, like somebody can take a screenshot of the script and post it today, and everyone will have it.
That's very true. Yeah,
and it can happen today. It can happen tomorrow. It can happen the next day. People already have scenes of his film. I mean, people can easily get this information. However,
you know what, Matt? It's the negative implications of the internet.
No, it's the implications of people trying to make a profit. It all comes back.
Yeah, well, that too.
Pay me for this source. Like I said, people will pay $10,000 to know if there's going to be a Justice League 2. People will pay money to get information. about simple things. I mean, somebody will do that. They'll put it out there and get fake information just to get money out of it. And if you have real hard evidence, right? So when I look at evidence, I don't look at Taylor said it, you know. I look at the actual evidence he has. Like, do you have a picture? Do you have some type of text message? Do you have a phone call I can look at? I mean, when you look at those things and you see what people are doing and you see how they're doing it, you can kind of tell just in the way they talk about their information if they even believe it. And half the times when I watch other shows where people talk about their scoops or whatever, you could see right through the bullshit of the language because they don't even know what they're saying. They're just saying it. They're like, oh, yeah, he's going to be in the next movie with so-and-so. When it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
I got to respond to that one where somebody put out a fake Green Lantern contract. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if that was actually Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he is a famous troll.
Someone even made a fake Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern contract and sent it to.
that could explain why he's so gung ho in that belief, and he ruined his interview with Zack Snyder when he was constantly dropping Green Lantern bits.
If Grace Randolph said Ryan Reynolds is going to be announced before fandom, then don't believe it. I don't get it. Was that like she said that?
I don't recall.
I don't know.
Did she push
I don't
that
think
narrative?
she said that, and I don't even think did Grace Randolph was one of the people I think that was saying that Ryan Reynolds was going to be in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
but she's kind of backpedaled from it though.
She did because she knows the bullshit. Because the information that was being fed from the studio, because I got that info. I mean, Taylor got the info, and
I think, I think that the other sources, I think Garza and Real Anarchy, I think they got the same info that Grace Randolph got about Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay, yeah, I heard about this. Okay, so my producer talked to me about this. I guess Garza thought that I made him the contract, and he was going to trace my. You can't trace IP addresses. That's against the law. He
doesn't know anything about computers. Don't even listen to him.
Go back to the comment.
At one point, he actually said. At one point, he actually said that you know, it's like every time he opens his mouth on one of his podcasts, he says stuff. He just blurts stuff out without even thinking about what it even means. Well, I would love to see this IP tracing. Back to you, Matt.
I would love to see the IP trace because you can't trace IP addresses, and if you did, it's against the law to do so. And at the same time, I got more important things to do than make. I guess the implication.
Again, there's that word. Yes, hashtag implications.
That he was
Get
saying
sniped.
I made it. I made a contract and sent it to him because that's just what I do.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Not
only would you not waste your time on illegitimacy like that, but you're just a much more busier person, and you're a guy with integrity too. Yeah. You don't have time for that, and you want to deal with facts. You don't want to deal with baloney. So why would you waste your time drafting something like that for the benefit of Garza?
No, if I'm going to draft something, I would honestly draft a picture of my ass. Because at this point,
that's some real bullshit.
Ridiculous. Like it's to me, that's like the biggest. Bullshit. Like that's how you smoke screen something, is to get somebody that is more relevant than you, to get you to respond to them, to make them important and relevant in today's world. I mean, that's just what people.
I mean, it's like no offense to them, but those guys, I mean, they need to get themselves some better sources. That's what I think the reality is there. Just get some better sources.
I mean, like I always said, the only film that I see or that I could have seen Ryan Reynolds come back as Green Lantern in is The Flash, and that's only because Michael Keaton. It's different universes.
No, but I mean, to bother Zack Snyder about that, though. I mean, they actually had the nerve to say to Zack to keep saying, so Ryan Reynolds at Green Lantern. I mean, really? Like, guys,
because they legitimately didn't really know, and they didn't really trust their source, so they were hoping to get something from him to either confirm or deny.
That's what
and which they didn't get either.
right?
And
He's not gonna. I mean,
that's
even if it was true, and I'll give Real Anarchy this. Even if it was true that Zack Snyder was going to confirm it, or like tongue in cheek confirm it or whatever on their show, they shouldn't have cheapened themselves by bringing that to Zack Snyder's attention. If Zack Snyder wants to share something about Green Lantern, bring it up.
It's not going to be
and allow Zack Snyder to do it on his own terms.
So
right.
I mean, that, to be honest with you, Zack Snyder's choice for Green Lantern, aside from Sean O'Connell, who we're going to talk about, and the best kept secret,
Sam Benjamin,
has been the best kept secret, since the inception of Justice League.
A lot of people don't watch the people that follow. I do more on my Instagram than I actually do on Twitter, which is surprising.
That is surprising, especially because you left Twitter and came back. So that's.
I would recommend people to go on Instagram a little bit more and just look at people's followers and see who does what, who has more active, because social media is what it is. It's a way to promote. It's a way to get people invested into things. It's not a way to connect with people. It's a way to get people talking and engaging, right? That's how their algorithms work to make money. It's all about making the dollar sign, basically. That's all social media is.
Here we go. Hold on.
And so when you look at the sources, right, because Grace Randolph and Real Anarchy, and I guess the word is that those two have this kind of back and forth relationship, Real Anarchy and her. And
hold on one second.
They have this back and forth relationship, her and him. And you could see that they spout the same things, but the problem is they're not spouting the exact same thing. They're actually saying two different things, but saying that they agree together when they don't agree.
I actually think that Grace Randolph does a much better job with it.
She does.
Because when she spins stuff, she doesn't come off, as ridiculously as they do.
No,
because they clearly don't know what they're talking about, and she clearly at least has some idea. She has some credibility.
No, she doesn't. She has no idea. She does what's called a gish gallop.
Is that a horse trainer term?
No, she does. I mean, she does a gish gallop. What that means in plain terms, it's a debate tactic that's known to get so much information out that you can never discredit a person, because they're giving you
that's
anything.
What that is.
They're just giving you a bunch of shit.
Well, she's more skilled at it than they are.
No, yeah, she actually,
let's just put it that way.
Pretty much is cryptic.
Very cryptic. It's not confirming or denying anything, but it's so much information at one time. You can't say no without implicating the rest of the stuff to be wrong as well. And she'd be like, well, I wasn't wrong here. If you're saying I'm wrong here, then I can't be wrong here if I was right here. So she's right one time. She's credible for the rest. And that's just a tactic that a lot of people use. However, the Real Anarchy guys are just, the biggest mistake they did is they didn't allow Zack Snyder to actually talk on their show and actually allow him to have a voice so that everybody can hear. And
that's very true.
Better. It would have been better if they cut out probably half the people on that panel and just
that was an overwhelming panel. You are 1,000% right there, Matt.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see all the people, how do you have someone like Zack Snyder on your stream, and you've got there was at least it had to have been like, what was it, like 10 people or something like that, around 10?
There was too many people. It felt like it was a nice fan experience, but at the same time, if the guy is really talking about his film, what do you want to pay more attention to? The people giggling on the side, or the person actually talking about the film?
Or the guy that keeps trying to talk over Zack Snyder? I mean, come on.
I mean, y'all got a point, but then you also have to realize too, those gentlemen that were on that panel, they all met him in person. They all established a relationship when they were
Not all of them.
Actually, they did. Comic Movie Marks was there. Film Junkie was there. Chris was there.
Garza never met Zack Snyder in person. Garza wasn't at the fan event.
Oh, I mean, I didn't see Garza.
No,
yeah, right. I didn't see him that
Prime
day.
has a good point, and like I said, it's a great fan experience to sit there and have a panel with him. But what was the intent at the end of the day? What was the goal of that episode? To hang out?
The clout, because now you can say, I had Zack Snyder on my podcast.
I don't think it was clout at all. I don't think any of that had to do with to get Zach on the show. I watched it and I was like, well, this is cool that Zach did. It showed how humble Zach is to get on the show and to hang out with these people that were part of, to get his cut out. And a lot of them did a lot of great things. I think I messaged.
And a lot of them did a lot of negative things and spun the narrative negatively too.
I know, but I reached out to Dave Pena and I congratulated him, to have that opportunity to sit down and talk to him. I let Dave know I thought that was great. However, the failure of that was you allowed the ego of two people or one person in particular, the one that you keep bringing up. I don't like to bring him up because I find him irrelevant. But when you bring it up, right, and you have that individual try to spout nonsense, if you pay attention to what he's saying, he literally tells you he has no idea how the film process works. He has no idea in what he's saying. He has no idea just in the relevance of what his own information. He doesn't even trust his own information that he's been spouting on all his podcasts of what he's saying. And it shows you that even in that interview, not one question was relevant enough to be heard because it was too busy being overshadowed by what I think I know rather than what I know.
That's brilliant. That makes perfect sense to me.
Problem.
You summed it up so beautifully there, Matt. I don't even have anything else left to say on the subject. I mean, I'm good.
All right, well, let me segue. Let me get through this article here, and then I'm going to close this out. This was brought up by one of our viewers here. And
there's a lot of misdirection in this article, just to let you know.
Misdirection. Okay, hey,
there's a lot of bad verbiage.
It is a trade, so let's just go through it here.
Yeah, Jeff Johns got
new Justice League shoots amid Ray Fisher claims. Warner Media's investigation into allegations of misconduct on the 2017 film may impact. No, it won't. How Snyder Cut and the spinoff The Flash will proceed. In October, director Zack Snyder will roll cameras for his intended Justice League. Working for Warner Media's HBO Max division on restoring his version of the maligned 2017 movie that he exited because of a family tragedy. The shoot will turn the Snyder Cut into a 4-episode limited series. Is expected to bring back Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman for new scenes. Also set to appear on call is Victor Koo. And a call sheet for what is expected to be a week or so long shoot is Ray Fisher Cyborg. The latter is noteworthy because Fisher is in a public dispute with sister Warner Media division, Warner Brothers, which he accuses the permitting Justice. I keep saying Justice League. Joss Whedon, the director who took over from Snyder, to engage in misconduct and abuse while reshooting Justice League. Fisher, who also claimed that the executives John Berg and Jeff Johns, who both have since left the studio, enabled Whedon's behavior. Warner Brothers declined the comic. Warner Media remains in business with Whedon and those and whose new show. I don't care about all that. Let's see. For Fisher, being cast as superhero Cyborg by Snyder was supposed to be the breakout of a lifetime. The actor went from theater work and one episode of television to land the character who was first introduced in Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, then showcased more predominantly in Justice League. Cyborg was also to get his own standalone movie. which was slated for 2020. But all that was years ago. Justice League disappointed at the box office, and the DC Films shakeup saw Johns and Berg let go to be replaced by Walter Hamada, an executive from Warner's sister arm, New Line. Fisher's dissatisfaction came to light on June 29th when he shared a video clip of himself at 2017's San Diego Comic-Con praising Whedon, but writing on the Twitter that he'd like to retract his statement vehemently. On July 1st, the actor elaborated, calling Whedon's behavior on set gross, abusive, unprofessional, completely unacceptable. Fisher's remarks pushed Warner Media to investigate the claims on August 20th. He announced the company was looking into them. That led to a back and forth between Warner Media and Fisher on whether or not he was cooperating with the investigation. On September 4th, Fisher tweeted that Hamada, who had no connection to the previous Warner's and DC film regime, had privately disparaged Whedon and Berg to him in an effort to spare Johns. The studio responded with a statement of its own, claiming that Fisher had not cooperated with the investigation, and Fisher fired back with a screenshot of the email that seemed to show that he did indeed met with the investigator. He also wrote, Warner's has escalated this to an entirely different level, but he's ready to meet the challenge. On September 14th, Aquaman's Jason Momoa reignited Fisher's claim of misconduct, writing on Instagram, "It needs to be investigated, and these people need to be held accountable." Momoa wading into the delicate issue is said to have caught both the studio and his own team off guard, as the actor and studio are preparing to shoot Aquaman 2 early next year. Insiders recall to THR that the Justice League reshoots conducted by Whedon were messy and hastily assembled affair. Snyder left the project in May of 2017 ahead of a November release date. Whedon had to cram an extensive rewrite and reshoot and take over post-production. One person present at the reshoots described the set filled with tension and says that the director was difficult with actors. The person also says they did not witness physical or other abuse. Johns and Berg were under pressure. Another insider notes, they were trying to deliver a tent pole and knew their jobs were on the line. Whedon did jettison many of Fisher's scenes, according to sources, and his directing style is described as opposite of Snyder's collaborative approach. It is also unclear if Fisher's filed the complaint at that time. Fisher is in talks with Warner Brothers to cameo in the Flash, a Justice League spinoff movie due to shoot next year. He has options negotiated for future appearances, including cameos beyond the initial film. But in earlier drafts of the Flash, Cyborg was a much more active player than the one in the current script. Sources say the studio exercised its option for Flash, even upping its negotiated price for what's described as a 3-scene appearance. Fisher's side countered with a figure doubling that. Warner's turned that down, and negotiations have remained stalled for weeks. And that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So,
that's funny that they mentioned Joss Whedon as a person that was hard to work with. I think this is a very good article if you're trying to protect Warner Brothers and not send so much bad light. But at the same time, there's a lot of truth in this article that's not being uncovered, like the what, the when, the where, the how. Those are not being answered in the article, and it's leaving it very open-ended. But I will say that Joss Whedon was the most I cannot talk about what happened. That's not my place to say. But I can say that Joss Whedon is a dictator director. So what that means is a dictator director tells you what to do, doesn't work with you. You see a lot of dictator directors, usually a newbie director or somebody that thinks they've been seasoned. However, I've made this point on YouTube on a comment that Joss Whedon's first official film ever, his biggest film was Avengers.
Yes.
And Avengers 2. And Avengers 2 sucked. Right?
It did.
It made money, but it wasn't commercially successful in the way of.
Well, the narrative sucked. Yeah, I mean, it was.
Yeah, the narrative. Everybody knows
it's
a terrible movie. However, Joss Whedon has never made another movie since. They don't even consider Justice League his film. They still consider it Zack Snyder's film. The reason for that is nobody wants to work with Whedon. They'd rather work with him as a writer rather than a director because he's not a friendly guy. He's not a friendly guy. But I'm not going to speak more on the specifics because it's not my place. But it's interesting to hear that it was tension. I think tension is a very key word, and we should probably keep that in mind in the future. Maybe in the next month or next few weeks.
And it's funny how they try to allude and try to make it seem like it's Ray Fisher's fault that the talks.
Oh yeah. Kind of like they're just trying to get the fans and like that just against Ray. Like, come on, Ray, just
right. Because we all know
so we can all go on and enjoy these these fun things.
That Jeff Johns has his hands in the pockets of the trades.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And let me just add him back real quick. It's very abrupt. I saw the message in the chat, and I was like, oh, "Damn!"
No, I wasn't trying to do that.
Oh, girlfriend's home. But I appreciate my panel for being here. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I just want to show this off real quick. Just because he did not get the treatment that everyone else did, but this was on Twitter last Friday. Ray Fisher himself retweeted my original tweet on how to get these awesome shirts, which a couple of my panel members have. There's Zod.
You have to add. Nice. You have to add. DC Extended. He got
I got him in here, and here's ACS. He's got his looking swole. And just here's DC Extended in all of his glory.
And, we all look so depressed because it's so serious, like it's like.
Well, the girls look a little happier. So, and there's Joe, there's Jonita. So I appreciate everybody who's done it. I want to thank you, my Patreons, Tyler and Zod Ryder. And get ready for Wonder Woman 84, which might be on streaming. But anyway,
it will be.
It's gonna be. I guarantee. If Tenet couldn't bring home the bacon for WB, I guarantee you Wonder Woman 84 is going to be out streaming for sure.
Well, it's because of Tenet and Mulan. Mulan is even worse.
And I saw what the Culture Nerd did today, and I wanted to congratulate them, but then I saw they retracted it. They took it off. But they had something similar to this that kind of broke down, who owns what and, what branches they were, which because kind of doesn't do it justice here. But I also wanted to show, hey, these two entities are completely different. And so there is a little bit of a faction issue, faction war. And that's what's holding everything up, not Ray Fisher. So with that,
Culture Nerd didn't take that down. They left up their.
They did, because I tried to find it again because I was going to put it on.
No,
and I didn't see it, and I was like, "Damn it!" So I saw their little map. That they did. And it was very helpful, and I think that it would definitely help people visually see how does this umbrella work with AT&T.
I can send it to you if you want it, because it's still up.
Okay, because I clicked on their name and I scrolled through their feed and I just didn't see it because I saw it earlier today and I was like, great, and right before the show I was going to grab it and then I didn't see it.
Yeah, I need to grab it. Because a lot of people don't understand all the stuff that's under the umbrella with them. They just don't understand it.
Exactly. So confusing. Well, while Matt's looking for that, let me go around the table. Mads, where can everybody find you if they want to seek you out? And don't give us your GPS.
Oh goodness, no, I would never do that.
They can.
Hey everyone, Mads Mama Bear here. You can find me at Mads Mama Bear here on YouTube and also on Twitter. And actually today I just dropped a DC Explained talking about the origin of Starfire.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that character. And Zod Rider, where can we find you?
You can find me at Zod Rider on Twitter, and you can find me on the Zod Rider Show on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on psn-radio.com. And next Tuesday, I'm going to have Nicotina on as my guest. So I just thought I'd throw that out there here. And then, of course, you can find me Thursdays with Ryan on the 4 Nerds, 7:30 p.m.
Awesome. All right. So Prime, I know we have a new Twitter handle, so let everybody know where they can find you so it's easy.
My Twitter handle is right there.
I can't hear you.
Right
I
there.
probably have to.
Oh, you can't hear me. Oh, he couldn't hear me. Okay. Well, my Twitter handle is right there displayed. That's how you can get in contact with me. I basically do all my streams on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's gaming and all DC. So that's what it is that I do. More serious content, just more serious discussions on my channel.
All right, man. And Matthew from Lightcast, where can we find you on Lightcast?
At Lightcast. There it is. I'll send you the I have it on my phone, so I have to like message it to you. So I'll send
remember to use promo code Footsies. I just gotta say,
kind of similar to this, but just like really showed you a nice umbrella of how this stuff is broken down.
I mean, honestly, the question that people need to understand is that Warner Brothers, Warner Media is above them all. Warner Brothers, Warner Max is HBO Max. So they're at the same level. So Warner Brothers is not Warner Max. That's true. Warner Brothers is one division. Warner Max and HBO Max is on the other side. They completely are even with each other.
Yeah.
So, however, what's more important right now? Streaming service. That makes more money. So they're going to pump more projects into HBO Max. So Warner Max is going to get a lot of production work.
And
promo code Footsies.
Yep, if you want to manscape, that's what you do. And Sickness asked, because he did tag me in this, he said, tell everyone what the Pink Lantern's emotion is. And I have to do it. It's love.
No.
It's love.
It's the Violet Lanterns. That's love. There is no Pink Lantern.
Oh, right.
Well,
Madison's correcting me yet again.
That suit is violet, though. That suit is violet.
That's fun.
All right. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody, and you guys have a pleasant tomorrow.